Better to be out in the desert where ain't no water, ain't nothing, than to be in a house with a contentious and an angry woman. Mm. Verse 13. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. Hear that? Who stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. You stop your ears at the cry of the poor, you don't care about the poor. You don't want to hear, you too good. You too, yeah, you're good, because you always say you're good. So you too righteous to deal with the cry of the poor. He also shall cry himself. Most I say, he going to make you cry, but shall not be heard. It's something you ain't heard. It's something where you're not heard. A gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. See, a gift in secret pacifieth anger. It'll make someone not be angry with you. And a reward in the bosom strong wrath. Look at Proverbs 25 and 24. Proverbs 25 and 24. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. So I speak once, yea, twice. You can say the same thing over again. Proverbs 18 and 22. Proverbs 18, 22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Hear that? If you find a wife, you find a good thing. And obtaineth favor of the Most High. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Most High. But she got to be in order. Like you got to be in order. Look at Jude. Go to the book of Jude. Right before Revelation. Jude 4. And let's see. This is what it says, Jude 4. It says, for there are certain men crept in unawares. Certain men crept in unawares, not knowing that they're there, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. Same spirits of old that was ordained to this condemnation. Unrighteous men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness. What is that? Inordinate sexual acts. And denying the only power most high and our master, Mashiach Yahushua. So you know men gonna come away. Come in. You're gonna be doing this. Look at Jeremiah. Go to the book of Jeremiah 31 and look at Jeremiah 31 and 32. We can start verse 31. Say, behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will make a new covenant. It's a new contract, a new agreement with the house of Israel, with the 9.5 tribes, the northern tribes of Israel, and with the house of Judah. And the 3 tribes that the Most High allowed Judah to have, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Not according to the covenant or the contract or the agreement that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. Who is that? The 12 tribes of Israel. You know, I hear preachers like T.D. Jakes said the covenant is to everyone, every nation. No, it's not. You see here, he says, verse 2, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them. Who was that? The 12 tribes of Israel. By the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. We the ones in captivity under the Egyptians. The 12 tribes of Israel. Which my covenant they break. So how you get everybody in this? It's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. He said, verse 31, behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. So you're not of the house of Israel, you're not of the house of Judah. It's not talking to you. Point blank. You can't make it mean nothing different. Verse 33, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. This is men and women. After those days, said the Most High, I will put my law in their inward parts. So the law, we got 613 laws, moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws that we can observe today. But you're teaching that we're not under the law. But we're in the mercy and grace. We Gentiles been grafted in, filled with the Holy Ghost and speaking in tongues and all these things, but you're not an Israelite. You claim to be Gentiles. Well, so I ain't dealing with no Gentiles. Not outside of the nation of Israel. Because you got Israelites that are Gentiles. They got to be taught that they're the Israelites. The chosen people of the Most High. In this Bible that you're talking about, Jew and to the Greek, yeah, that's Israelites. Just like you said, Jew and to the American. I can say to the Israelites and to the Americans. We that know we the Israelites, and you that are Gentiles, but you are Israelites, calling yourself just straight up African American. Or any other nation that you call yourself. We got 12 nations that make up one nation. Of the 12 tribes of Israel. So, you lost. Hopefully you'll be found. You in darkness. Hopefully you'll see this light, this marvelous light that's shining bright before it's too late. It says, verse 32, not according to the covenant or the contract or agreement that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them, the 12 tribes of Israel, by the hand to bring them, 12 tribes of Israel, out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, said the Most High, but this shall be the covenant, the contract or agreement that I will make with the house of Israel. How you get everybody out of that? That's why I say people don't read their Bible. And you got those that try and put us down. You can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth, straight up. But this shall be the covenant, the contract agreement that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Most High. I will put my law that you said that we not under, in their inward parts. The reason why you're not under the law? Because you're another nation. You ain't the Israelites. You can't claim you're the Jews. Else the Jewish people won't come after you, right? We are the Israelites. We are the people of the book. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. You don't say what, you can say the house of everyone, every nation, under heaven. You can say that, you could have wrote that. It's the house of Israel. After those days, said the Most High, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, in our minds, and will be their power. And they shall be my people. Most High said in Exodus 3:15 and 16, he the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is his name forever, the memorial to all generations. Mashiach came back and let you know he's still the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. In Matthew 22:32, Most High the power of Abraham, power of Isaac, power of Jacob. Told you the same thing in Acts 3:13, the power of our fathers, the power of who? Power of Abraham, power of who had a son named Isaac, and Isaac had a son named Jacob, who the Most High said, that's his name forever, the memorial to all generations. The power of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Point blank. He said, as we learned of the Most High and his laws in perfection through 1,000 years of being under the tutorship of a Mashiach Yahushua, Most High will. Verse 34, and they shall teach no more every man their neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Most High. Because the Most High going to be all in all. That's what it's all about. Know the Most High, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquity. Whose iniquity? The whole house of Israel. I will forgive their iniquity. 1/3, mind you. I will forgive their iniquity, because blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is unforgivable in this world and the world to come. He said, for I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Now, we can read the same thing in Hebrews 8:8. It's like, that's the Old Testament. No. But it is in the New Testament. For you that say, oh, that doesn't matter because the law been done away with. Let's see what it says. Hebrews 8:8. I got to bring this in the spirit. Brought me here because this is something that's prevalent right now. And if one person that think that this is to everyone can hear this and can realize the error in these preachers of today, these mega churches leading our people astray, then we've done our job through the Spirit of the Most High. Hallelujah. Listen, Hebrews 8:8. For finding fault with them, who's the them? The Israelites. He said, behold, the days come, said the Most High. This is the same thing we just read in Jeremiah 31:31 down. The days come, said the Most High, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. We just read this. That's why when you read the New Testament, you got to know the Old Testament, because wasn't no New Testament written when Hebrews is being prescribed or being ascribed. So listen, and with the house of Judah, the house of Israel and the house of Judah, 9.5 tribes in the northern kingdom, and Judah, Benjamin, Levi, 3 tribes of the southern kingdom. Because Levi was amongst all the tribes. They were the Levites, they were the priests. Not according to the covenant or the agreement or contract that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Most High. He gave us into captivity to these other nations. We were in captivity after captivity after captivity. But this is my covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. That's all of us. 1/3, mind you. Said the Most High, I will put my laws in their mind. So that's what we're rehearsing now. Judges 5:11 tells us. We're rehearsing the righteous acts now. And him bringing the laws, his laws, into our mind. Those that's going to have ears to hear and eyes to see and apply his laws in their life. He said, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Most High, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. That's what the Most High teaching us 1,000 years. Most High will, if we make it there. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, to our sins. And their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. And that he said, a new covenant he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxes old is ready to vanish away. Because the Mashiach is going to show us of the Father. And the Most High is going to be all in all. Yes. That's what it's all about. Go to Psalms, the 3rd chapter, and the 12th verse. Psalms 3. Is that what I want? Let's see here. This one, let's see. I don't want to go to Spirit. When we go here, 2 Corinthians 11 and go to verse 13. Second Corinthians 11 and 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers. You know, they're alive. Remember, Satan come down, the devil come down to see the whole world. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach, the anointed, the Messiah, the Christ. They are what? False apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. Now take these same scriptures and make them mean something different. Because, as I said, the covenant contract that the Most High have is only with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the 12 tribes of Israel. And who you have glorifying the lie, man, you got women mainly up in these churches that support a lot of these churches going forward. Look at Psalms 105 and 8. Just so you know, the word is true. Psalms 105 and 8. He have remembered his covenant forever. Let's see if it's covenant with everyone. Because you can say it's covenant with every nation and start naming all the nations. You think he can't do that? He's the Most High. Listen, he have remembered his covenant, his contract, his agreement forever, it says. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. 1,000 generations. Which covenant, contract, agreement he made with Abraham. And his oath unto Isaac. He didn't make it with Ishmael. Abraham had Ishmael. But he made it with Isaac. And confirmed the same unto Jacob. Isaac had Esau and Jacob, but the Most High chose Jacob, not Esau. But you got these false apostles saying everybody's in the covenant. No, that's a lie. We just read it. Now it's going to clearly tell you. It says, and confirm the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. To Israel, to the Israelites, to the 12 tribes of Israel for an everlasting covenant. Can't get nobody else than that. That's clear. Now break it down to mean something different. Ask about it. Since everybody can be an Israelite, ask about it. Ask them to break it down for you. If they're not false apostles, then they'll be able to say, no, that don't mean that. And I tell you to scratch it out. You don't need that verse. I've heard that too. So, I mean, it's time. The time is at hand. We're at the end of days. And y'all playing with this. You better get serious. The Most High is a man of war. And when he bring his wrath down, you playing with him, he gonna play with you, he gonna laugh and mock you, he says. Proverbs 124 down. Better read it for yourself. Better repent. Start teaching this truth. 1 Timothy 5 and 2. 1 Timothy 5 and 2. The elder woman as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity. Honor widows, women that have lost their husband, that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home. Let them learn to take care of their home and to requite their parents. For that is good and acceptable before the Most High. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate, trusts in the Most High, and continue in supplications and prayers night and day. She's praying and crying to the Most High night and day. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. You that? You that's going out to the club party and doing all the things that you want to do in the world. What he say? You dead while she living. You dead while you living. That's how he look at you. You like being dead, even though you alive. Man. Wow. You a dead woman walking. Jump up to verse 9. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old, 60 years old, having been the wife of one man, well reported of for good works. If she have brought up children, she brought up children. If she have lodged strangers, if she have washed the saints' feet, if she have received the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work, which is following the laws that's come out of the Most High. But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax and wanton against Mashiach, they will marry. They get that itch, they go marry, having damnation, because they have cast off their first faith. And withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, going from house to house, visiting everybody, but tattlers also and busybodies, running their mouth, telling about this, talking about this, other people's business, speaking things which they ought not. Talking too much. Talebearers, telling everything. It says, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary, the enemy, to speak reproachfully, disgracefully. Don't give occasion to the devil to speak reproachfully. Let me tell you, Ecclesiastes 3:24. Lean not on their own understanding. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion is overthrown their judgment. Evil come in, you let Satan come in, and you start to speak reproachfully, a disgraceful way. Well, some are already turned aside after Satan. You hear what it said? He said, I'm making up. Say, for some have already turned aside to Satan. See? Because where is he at? Hold that. Well, let's finish this. If any man or woman that believeth have widows, let them relieve them, and let not the church be charged, that it may relieve them that are widows indeed. See? Got to relieve them. Look at why it's saying this. Why it's saying these things. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober. Over again, you hear that? Don't be drunk. Sober also means be focused. Be sober. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, your enemy, that same adversary we just read about in 1 Timothy 5:14, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary, to the devil that I told you, to speak reproachfully. For some are already turned aside after Satan. Remember Satan, the devil, same adversary, which means enemy. Now 1 Peter 5 and 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, see, that's the adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, a roaring lion ready to pounce something and kill something. Walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So don't be speaking reproachfully, disgracefully, showing that you rolling with Satan, the devil, whom resist steadfast in the faith. You believe in the Most High, have faith in the Most High, rebuke that sucker, he shall flee. Whom resist steadfast, say resist them, steadfast in the faith, in your belief in the Most High, in the Mashiach Yahushai, by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the body. See? You got to go through this. You just got to know how to come out of it. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, 24th chapter. Get some understanding on this, because a lot of people are, especially a lot of women go here to try and prove a certain point. But let's look at this. Deuteronomy 24 and 1. It said, when a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her. See? He found some uncleanness in her. That means she's sinning. She's committed adultery, as we read about earlier. She fallen into fornication, dealing with other religions and other gods, other idols, other abominations. She started eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, abominable things put into her body, and want to put them into his body and the children's body. Because he had found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. So write her a bill of divorce and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. She can go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hate her, so she's going to be some other man's wife, and the next man hate her and write her a bill of divorcement, he divorced her. Now the first husband divorced her. Now the second husband divorced her and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. Or if the latter husband die, if the next husband that she get with die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, the one she was married to first, would send her away, may not take her again to be his wife. Can't go back to him. If you don't put her out, you gave her a divorce, can't go back to her. For that is abomination before the Most High. He really said that's abomination before the Most High. And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Most High thy power giveth thee for an inheritance. So you can't take her back. Once you divorced her, she went with another man. See, that's abomination before, that's a filthy wicked act before the Most High. You can't take her back. But you see that all the time. That's because of lust. You know. But that's what the law says. Just small.